Let's make some journaling cards for our Gypsy Journal. Hi everybody and welcome back. Today we're going to make some journaling cards for the Gypsy Journal that we started last week. Sorry I didn't post a video yesterday. Time went by quicker than I thought it was, and I just literally ran out of time. But I will show you. Yesterday I worked on getting the cover done and the book put together, somewhat put together. And so this is what the cover looks like. And I'm pretty happy with the way that it's come out so far. This is the image that I showed you the last video. And I just kind of did some layering and different things and put some little bells and took apart the bracelet that I showed you and put these little coins on the bottom and some lace. And I think that turned out really cute. It is done in the Midori style binding method, which means that these two signatures that I have in here can be removed because they're on elastic, and so they can slide right out. And I have not sewn these yet, and you can slide them right back in through the elastic. And I like doing that because I like being able to offer people a solution to replacing the insides of their journal and still using the outside cover if that's what they wish to do. So, like I said, I have picked all the papers. There's several different kinds of papers in here and book pages and so forth. And that's what we will be decorating with pockets and tucks and so forth. And so far I have a pocket here in the front, and I have a tuck spot in the back. So I was struggling with an idea of what to do for journal cards because I want them to be quite colorful and kind of be the opposite of what we're used to doing. We're used to making kind of a neutral background and then embellishing the cards. These I wanted to have more colorful background and use more neutrals to embellish them. And so that's the direction we're doing. And I happened to watch a video yesterday by Luise Heinzl at Junk Journal Art, and she did this process of making some journal cards. And so I want to try that a little bit different than what she did, but I will link her video below so you can watch it. It's a really cute idea. And so I'm going to try that today. I have not experimented with this, and so it may be a total flop, but we're going to try it anyway. Now, what Louisa did is she took some vintage papers that she had gotten from Barbara at 49 Dragonflies and some of her vintage invoices and ledger papers and things like that. And then she did a process of using a stencil on some coffee and other methods to enhance her papers. And so which I really want to try that at some point too, but that wasn't going to work for this particular journal. And so what I did is I picked some just random scrapbook papers that I had and have had forever in several different colors. And so I'm going to try to do the same process, but I am going to use, like I said, the colorful papers. The only thing that I've done to these is I did spray them with some tea dye, which you can see. And then I just randomly used a script stamp and stamp the whole paper. And some of those you can see a lot better than others, but they are all coffee dyed and, tea dyed and stamped. So this is what we're going to do, and I'm going to try to keep this in frame the best I can until we get these papers down to a journal card size, because they are 12 by 12. So bear with me if I go out of frame a little bit until I get the process started. So this is what she did. She turned the papers over once she got them all stenciled and dyed the way she wanted them, and she ripped them. So she just kind of ripped strips out of each one, and I'm going to lay these over to the side. You want to keep them stacked up together. And again, I would really highly recommend you watching the video. It's a really good video, and it looks really cool on the invoices and stuff that she did, and the process that she did to use the stencils with the coffee dye and the distress inks are really, really interesting. And like I said, I do want to try that at some point, but it wasn't going to work for this journal. So, but we're going to see how this comes out. As you can see, I'm just kind of ripping them and putting some, kind of curves and stuff like that in it. And strips don't have to be equal. And I'm laying them over to the side, which I know is off camera, but I'm laying them in the order that I'm ripping them. Like a puzzle, if you were to put it back together. And I'm keeping them stacked on top of each other. Okay, and let's do one more, and we'll be at the end. Flip that one upside down, so I need to turn that one around so I don't get myself confused. Okay, so basically what we have now, and I'll slide them back over so you can see, is we have the same piece of paper on top. Let's see, I'll flip that one too. And we could technically put it back together just how it was. If I can keep my stacks here. We could fit it back together just how it was, and once again make one whole sheet of paper if we wanted to. Okay, so basically that's what we have. So what we're going to do now is, and I'm going to move these back over to the side so that I have room to work, is we are going to reassemble our paper, but we are going to reassemble it in a way that we're taking a different sheet of paper from our stack until we get a whole sheet. So what I mean by that is, off the first stack, I'm taking the top piece of paper. On the second stack, I'm going to take the second piece of paper, like this. Okay. From the third stack, I'm going to take the third sheet of paper, and then the fourth, and then the fifth, see now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't want to lose count. One doesn't seem like it fits. Did I mess my stacks up? It would not, I would not put it past me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, maybe I just didn't have it even. No, that just does not seem like it's gonna fit. Maybe I'll have it upside down. Yes, that's it. I bet y'all were yelling at me to turn it around, weren't you? Okay, and then okay, so in this one we're doing 6, which brings us back to the top because I don't have but 5 pieces of paper. And then on the last one, we're back to number 2. And so we have, again, a whole sheet of paper. So now we are going to glue these back together. Sorry, I'm trying to move my stacks so I don't get them mixed up and I still have enough room to work. Okay, so I'm going to turn it this way because it'll be easier for me to work on. We're going to glue them back together, and you can either choose to ink the seams or you can choose not to. And what Luise did on hers is some she did and some she didn't. And so I think I'm going to use that same process because hers worked out really well. And actually, I'm going to use, she used glue stick, but she also sewed hers and I don't sew. So I'm going to use the art glitter glue. And some she glued underneath and some she glued on top. She likes the little white edge that you get when you tear things. And so if she had a white edge, she did it on top. And if she did not, she did it underneath. And so you want to put just a little bit of overlap, enough so that you're catching the edge of your other paper. Okay, and then this one I think I will ink. Whoops, don't throw them in the floor. I've really got to replace my pad on my inker tool. It's about chewed up. And when I ink it, I'm going to put it on the top. So this glue line, I'm going to run along the top. And put this piece together. And this one, I actually think I'm going to ink the other side of this as well, because it's got a nice torn edge. And then I can leave that one on the top. So I'm going to put glue here. This is a little bit fiddly, not too bad. Okay, and this one I'm gonna do this piece underneath. What's that part right there? You want to make sure these are glued pretty well, because when we get done, we're going to be cutting them into journal cards. And so you want to make sure that you don't have any open places that are going to come apart once you start cutting them up. And I'm inking this one, and I'm going to ink both sides. And it's funny because when you look at these, the pieces kind of tell you which ones will look good inked and which ones won't, because of the white that's been exposed, you know, when you tear it. So that's kind of cool. Okay, and let's do this one underneath. Okay. I was just checking to make sure I had it the right way. Hope everybody's having a good weekend. Mine has been really good. It's just they're never long enough for me to get everything done I want to do journaling wise. So that's how it is, I guess. Okay, and then our last piece I'm going to put underneath. I meant to fill up my glue bottle. I hope we have enough to get through this. I think we will. All right. So now this is what we have. And what you want to do is back these so that you have journaling space on the back. And because this is a 12 by 12, I'm going to have to wait till they're cut up, because obviously I don't have any paper that's worthy for journaling that's 12 by 12. So we will do that once we cut it up. All right, so let me find a place to stack my pieces, because obviously I can do this now 4 more times because I ripped up 5 sheets of paper. So I need to move them because my cutter's over here. So I think if we just do half and half, we should have a nice size journaling card. Sorry, I'm just trying to make sure everything's glued down and kind of dry before I try to cut them. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to trim. You'll see that my edges aren't perfectly even because, you know, they're just not. So the first thing I'm going to do is trim it so that all the edges are even, and that's just going to require just taking just a slither off to get them, and see it wasn't dry. I should have waited. Let's try it. I should have done it with my scissors maybe. work. I'm just going to run it. Let's do it with the scissors. Let's do it with the scissors and hope for the best. Okay, and we'll do this side. Okay. All right, so now, hopefully that is dry enough that I can go in here and I'm going to cut them. Six inches. I'm not going to be able to do that because my book, do you see how I came to a sudden halt? My book is only 5 1/4. It is 5 1/4. Okay, so 6 inches will work height-wise. We can do it this way, 6 inches. Which that wasn't even because obviously it didn't make a full 12-inch piece of paper again. But that's okay. I'm gonna take this wider side here, which it really doesn't matter if they're even, to be honest. No, it doesn't. But these have to be, no. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, sorry for the silence, was, okay, so I'm gonna do these, I think at 5. What do I want to do these at? If I do them at 5, they'll be there. That'll be all right. Okay, so I'm going to do these at 5. And then I'm going to go ahead and do these at 5 too, I think. They're not going to be quite as tall, but that's okay. All right, so that's what we have as our 4 cards. And we have 2 little pieces left that would actually be kind of cool for something else. So I'm going to throw them up in my little project folder bin thingy. All right, so now we have these 2 and we have these 2. So far pretty cool. So now what we want to do is we want to embellish them, and I'm turning them upside right because they do have even though you can't hardly see it. They do have script on it, and so I don't want it to be upside down. Okay, this one will be this way. All right, so now I want to embellish them, and I'll back them off camera so you don't have to go through that. I'm just going to take some tea-dye paper and put on there so that they can be written on the back, and it'll also make them a little sturdier because they are just thin scrapbook paper. They're not the thicker, like, you know, cardstock scrapbook paper. It's just thin paper. So, those things around the edges. So what do you guys think so far? I think this is kind of cool. Actually, it might be easier for me to work on it if I do. I may actually put it on cardstock, to be honest. I mean, they're really thin. I don't know if the tea-dye paper is going to be enough to give it enough sturdiness. Because it's just like regular paper. It's not any thicker than like copy paper, actually. So I might put it on cardstock. Okay, so now I'm going to see what we need to do. And like I said, this is going to be kind of opposite because our background is so busy. You know, I'm going to tone it down with using some embellishments that aren't as busy. So I have some German paper, which Denise sent me in a Happy Mail, and I've got some music paper, and I've got some dictionary page, and then we have our focal points. So let's pick out these first and see what colors go with what and which ones we want to use. So that one's got some yellow in it. So does this one. So does that one. This one's got pinks and blues, which will really go with any of them. Then we've got, she'll really go with any of them as well. And then we've got some that don't have much color to them at all. And these are all from the Graphics Fairy. Actually, I'm going to use this one. This one's got rounded edges. Alright, so we've got this lady. Do I like this lady? Well, this lady and this lady's the same. It's just one's closer up, so we're going to use that one. Okay, so I think that's going to work for our backgrounds. I mean our focal points. So let me cut the edges off these real quick. It's kind of a mass making project because you make one of the sheets, and every time you make one you're going to get four journal cards. So it works out pretty good. Gonna rain here, and it suddenly has gotten a lot darker in my studio. I hope you guys can still see okay. last one. I bet you're thinking, oh my gosh, you're just cutting those cards. You're taking forever. I cannot stand to cut a line that is crooked. It drives me crazy. And so I'm extra careful when I'm doing that. Okay, so let's take this music paper, since all these ladies are dancing. Let's see if we can use that. The first thing we want to do, though, is put something that's got a more neutral kind of thing on it so that we can rest our eyes a little bit. And I don't know why I'm so worried about this page, because I'm going to rip it up anyway. Okay, so let's take some of this book page and see if we can start with that. And this dictionary page. Alright, so there's my ruler. And I'll just rip these borders off and get them out of the way. I came home from work the other day. My hubby's been on vacation. He's about to retire, and so he's just using some of his leave. And he was so sweet. He had emptied the trash can in here and vacuumed up all my little pieces of paper that were on the floor from where you tear things up. So I thought that was really sweet of him. Okay, what I'm going to do is work in opposite direction of how this is going. So this is going this way, and so what I'm going to do to tone it down is I'm going to have some stuff go this way. And I think that's going to work. It may not, but in my mind, that's what I'm going to try first. So let's do the first one before we start jumping in. So we're going to do this lady first. Let me stack these others up out of the way. So there's that. And then I've got this dictionary page, which I think this is also from Denise, actually. Let's try a piece of it. Maybe here. And then just a little bit of this. Sorry, you probably can't see that. Let me move it. Okay, the only thing I don't, well, it still shows. I start to say the only thing I don't like about that is we're focusing on the yellow of this one, but the yellow still shows okay. All right, and then I want to take, I think, a label or something. These are all Tracy Fox labels that I'm digging through. Maybe a blue to tie in this blue. Do I have? We may not get all 4 of these done in this video, but at least you'll kind of get the general drift of what we're doing. And I don't know if you can see in this one, but there are a couple of little butterflies. I'm not sure how many little butterflies I have. I do kind of like that one. Okay, I'm liking that. Where, I'm wondering if I have, or where I have, not if, where I'm digging through these are numbers. Just to see if I see something that kind of jumps out at me. Okay, so I think we're gonna call that one done like that. So we'll get all this inked up. And I could have actually put a little piece of lace or something on there as well. I am very sore, have been very sore because Friday morning before I went to work, I had to come up here to my studios upstairs in our home, and I had come up here to get an order to ship out, and was going back down the stairs, and my foot slipped off the end of the stair. And I don't know if you all have ever done that, but I went down probably 3 stairs before I caught myself. I didn't fall all the way down, but my ankles did all kinds of weird stuff on the way because it had, you know, slid off the end of the stair. And so my ankles have been so sore since Friday. Luckily, you know, I didn't fall down the stairs and I didn't break anything, and because it could have been a lot worse. But yeah, my ankles are feeling it, that's for sure. But I didn't drop anything, so the package that was going out was not dropped. It's almost comical. It would have been something you'd see in a movie or something. Okay. So we're going to start gluing. I'm going to use glue stick. My glue book is not anywhere near. Oh yeah, it's gonna storm. The wind has picked up like crazy out there. Doesn't do any good for me to cover everything up, does it? And this will probably not go back in the same configuration that I had it when I laid it out, because I either changed my mind or I forget where I put it. Usually I'll take a picture of it or something. You know, I almost think I wouldn't care for that music to be on top of that hard edge. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Sorry if you couldn't see. I'm taking the hard edge off of the music because it was just too straight for me. And then I'm actually going to, once I get to that point, glue the music on top of the Gypsy instead of underneath. would have helped if I glued that down. Okay. And I'm going to glue her here. And then I'm going to glue this. Okay, and then I'll put our butterflies on there. Put one about right here. I'm going to put the other one right on this little kind of ugly where everything meets down here. All right, there's one. I think that'll be really cute once I have it backed, and I probably will round the corners, and I might even put a tab on there. I thought I had them closed. Oh, I do. I won't put it on there yet, obviously, since I don't have the backing on, but I need to cut some more of these. May not have any in here that will work. Oh, you know what I could do is I could cut them out of the same paper and then have alternate the ones that I use. That would look kind of cute. Actually, that one wouldn't look bad either. Something like that, or like this, depending on, you know, how they're going to go into the journal, or maybe even like this, depending how they're going to go in. That actually looks really good with that one. So I'm going to set that one with that one and set it aside till I get it backed. And we'll move on to the next one. Maybe get a couple done. I don't know if I can see how long I've been going. Yeah, I think we can get one more done. All right, so let's do, since we did a yellow one already. Oh, I forgot to put the little, I was going to break this up with this. Now I bet I can't get it under there. Nope. It's okay. We'll use it on the next one, maybe. Okay. Let's do this lady. All right. So this is a smaller card, so we have to be really careful not to overwhelm or we won't have any colors left. So and this. Now maybe we'll use this. I don't know if you all can hear that thunder, but it's really thundering now. And on this one, I think I want something to, like, look, right on the top to pick up that red. And butterflies. We need a much smaller one. She's actually got yellow ones. I don't know if you can see that, but she's actually got yellow and looks like a black and white one. I don't have that in here. Nope. I may have to add that off camera. From my other stash. Let me see if I have one in here. I don't think so. I think this is all like people. Okay, so we will add that, or I will add that off camera. Okay. I'm reaching for maybe a little piece of lace. Put on this one, down one side. Okay, so let's get this one inked up now. And I'm using ground espresso on these. I wanted these to be a little bit darker than the vintage photo. Because the paper tends to be the papers that I'm going to use in the journal part are a little bit darker than the springy summery papers, so I have switched over to the ground espresso. Alright, so we have this one at the top. And again, I may put that on top. Because on the card, her arms are cut off. So if I put it underneath, it still looks like her arms are cut off. If I put it on top, then it looks like that it's intentional rather than just her arms are cut off. So I may do that, and then on this side I may do kind of the same thing because we've got the same process going on her little hand on this side. So let's put, and actually I may put this red up here so that we have the red, and not all the red in the same spot. Alright, so that's actually going to go down first. Okay, so this is actually going to go down first. Okay, then I'm going to put this down with my glitter glue that I forgot to put the pin back in. Hopefully it'll work. And hopefully this will hold this. If not, I'll have to go back with some Fabri-Tac. I'm going to put that right down here, like that. Then our German script we're going to put here. And I'm going to use our glitter on that because it has to go on top of that lace. Right, and then I'm going to glue her down. And actually I'm going to glue her as much to this side as I can. I'm going to use our glitter, whoops, sorry about that, our glitter on that as well. And again, look what I did. Oh, no, I sat on top, didn't I? Okay, we're good. We're good. Thought I had missed it. Okay, we're going to put this over here and fix her other missing arm. And we're going to put this right here on the corner. Okay, so there's that one, and like I said, the only other thing that I will add is a butterfly, maybe a couple butterflies. Just to kind of balance it out, and I'll probably put it over in here somewhere, just so you know. So, there you go. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I think it's a very cool idea, and yeah, I kind of like the way that that they turn out, and I can definitely see me doing that again. And like I said, I really want to try Luise's original method where she takes the stencils with the like the old ledger papers and stuff like that, because that was really cool too, but it just wouldn't work in this journal. However, I think these are going to look really good in here. I think they're going to definitely, the colors and everything are going to work with what I had in mind. So, yeah, I like it. You know, I kind of feel like that you have to have a lot of color in this kind of journal just to express, you know, their kind of life, their love of life and travel and dancing and music and, you know, all the things that they are historically known for. And so yeah, I'm happy with that. And thanks guys for watching, and be sure to hit the subscription box if you're not subscribed already, and please let me know if you have any questions, and we'll see you next time. Bye.